No Eszter today, but you'll find out why in her own words in just a couple of seconds. She broke her leg, but instead of me telling you about it, let's hear her story.
To say the least, I'm so nervous. Not only because I love my life here in Sicily, but I love bringing you videos, so I'm not going to be out of commission for a while and off tours. And poor Alfred, he has to take care of me.
A casa.
I'm going home. I'm going to be more excited.
All right, Eszter was just transported back from the hospital. People are dying to find out what the heck happened and how were you treated.
It was a freak accident. I was going for a walk in Giardini Naxos with right before our group. I was going to go up to Taormina. I had free time. I was going to go for a brisk walk. I walk out. I twisted my ankle and my knee popped. So that's how it started. And then I went immediately. Well, no. At first I tried to ice it and brave it, and then I was convinced to go to the emergency room in Taormina, where it was an interesting experience. I went in, they did an x-ray, a couple of x-rays. At first they didn't even believe that I broke my leg because there was no bruises, there was nothing. And then they took me an x-ray and said I needed to be operated immediately. Well, there was no way that I was going to go and be operated by a doctor I don't know without getting a second opinion in Taormina, in a strange place, without talking to Alfred, my mom, and everyone. So I said to them, thank you, but no thank you. I realized, and thank you for telling me that I need surgery, but I'm going to go home. So what did I do? I get into a taxi and I went to dinner with our group and Alfred. And then I proceeded to do the rest of the tour. Well, you can call me crazy. I probably was a little bit crazy, but I had a half cast on, and at that time, in a few days, I already bought a wheelchair, which the company bought. So we have our company wheelchair. And even the wheel comes off. Perfetto. E basta. And there are my wheels. I call it the Eszter Mobile. And all it needs is a little cup here for the vino, a little honk to get out of my way, and something for my water. In all seriousness, I couldn't have been more fortunate and happy to be with the group of people I was with. I was with repeat legend travelers. Some of them were physicians, eye doctor, dentist. We had a nurse there. We had a pharmacist there. We had just a woman, Krista, who's all into holistic and body touching. Let me tell you, there couldn't have been a better group with me. Someone who had, his wife had been in a wheelchair, so he understood. It was amazing, and they were so supportive and so loving. And I continued. I didn't go on any tours except for one where I just sat in a chair. It was a cooking demo, and I just sat in the chair and waited. I didn't go on any tours, but I did have dinner with them every night. And let me tell you what joy it was to ching with them every night. And then we went from Cefalù to Lipari, which is one of my favorite places in the world, in Sicily and in the world. And it was a beautiful hotel, so I didn't mind sitting by the hotel while everyone was gallivanting and shopping and eating gelato and looking at beautiful things and everything, because I got to be with them and of course my Alfred. The staff at every single hotel was unbelievable. They were so supportive, they were so helpful, they went above and beyond. Let me tell you, if anything, this showed me that the people of Sicily are caring, thoughtful. They didn't have to do that. They were staff at the hotel, but they went above and beyond. They helped me wheel me in my room, bring me water, bring me coffee, whatever I needed. Let me tell you, the staff at Astro in Cefalù, at the Helenia in Giardini Naxos, and Actea in Lipari were top notch. I couldn't be happier with them. So now the group.
Let me ask another question now, okay? So, You gutted it out, Eszter, is what you did for like 6 days or 7 days with a busted leg. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. But you are the word trooper, okay? Period. End of sentence. So finally, we get home. Finally, the clients leave.
Wait a sec. Before we even do that, we get home, because I'm crazy. I'm like, I had my our assistant come over and she helped me unpack, and I was ready to go to the final dinner at the residence, a final dinner with all these people that I just spent several difficult days with, several loving days with, several very memorable days with. And I was faced with the prospect of getting into this chair, but first I had to get down the stairs. And you know what? Exhaustion hit me, and I said, Al, I'm going to farewell dinner, which is like a beautiful dinner. That is our last dinner. We, ching ching for a last time, and we say, we'll see you later. And then I promised Al that, I said, okay, Al, you said, promise me you don't go, and then I can't remember what, and then I just said, okay, I won't go. And as Al was all dressed up in his cute outfit, he looked so handsome, tears started coming out because I wanted to say goodbye to everyone, which I didn't. And all the people in that group meant so much to me. So then what happened was that I stayed home, and 3 days later, I had an appointment to go in and get the surgery. This is my fracture right there. So it goes all the way down. That one. This is what mine looks like. Let me tell you, the staff at the hospital, it's not a hospital, it's a clinic, Morgagni, were incredibly professional, helpful, very consistent. Overall, the healthcare service was unbelievably good. My surgeon is my hero. My surgeon is a Superman. My surgeon said it was going to be a very difficult surgery, and he was going to try to do it. And what did he do? He did far better than he expected. Instead of putting a plate in and screws and this and that and I don't know, blah, 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 he put in 3 screws. And I, well, fortunately or unfortunately, stayed awake during my surgery. And let me tell you, I heard the team, I witnessed the team, I watched the camera where they were operating on my leg. I saw my ligaments, I saw my blood, I saw the bone, I saw them going in. To the side, I saw the hammers and instruments that they were using, and I just felt like things were working. Oh, and I did feel the hammer and heard the hammer. They were hammering my leg. And I just felt like everything was going well and everything going well. And then something like abbiamo fatto or something that was said, and I said, are we okay? And Angelo looks over and says, wait, you're awake. And I said, yes, during the whole thing.
You know, Eszter.
And then he came over and he gave me this. And now, after 2 days, I'm home. And let me tell you, I couldn't ask for a better partner in Alfred. And I couldn't ask for a more beautiful place to heal.
But wait a minute, I want to go back to your surgeon, because there was a lot of fate involved in this. Because several years ago, you and I had quite a bit to do with the Elephants Catania football team, where Dr. Angelo Di Giunta, probably the most famous surgeon in Greater Catania, and probably
Italy.
one of in Italy, is the president, or was the founder and the president. And through that association, we meaning you and I, Angelo and his lovely wife, very good friends. So when this whole catastrophe happened, obviously, I called Angelo and he took over. So it was just an unbelievable, it was fate, Eszter. It was fate.
It was fate. Look at that. It's like a hotel room. Fridge, extra bed, comfy chair, even a TV. 5-star hotel, he says. Yep. These people could not be nicer. The staff here so far has been amazing.
Ok.
Come ti chiami?
Io mi chiamo Dario.
Dario.
Dario, lavoro nella Morgagni, socio sanitario. Un bacio.
Ti piace fare questo lavoro?
Tantissimo.
Perché?
Lo adoro. È una devozione da Dio per aiutare il prossimo. Questo è una cosa
God. He's basically saying this is his calling from God to help the next one. Okay. I want to make sure I record some things. My first impressions are that this hospital is very clean. They're very organized. Everything is high tech, and the staff has been great. Even for lunch and dinner, they have my favorite, which is salad and vegetables and chicken breasts, and they had a bistecca, a choice, and the staff has been coming in and out. They've done blood work, they've done x-ray, they've done, let me see, something with a heart test. And so it is a very comprehensive test pre-surgery. So today is Tuesday. My surgery is hopefully Wednesday. And then they want to keep me for one more day. So that's pretty significant. This is my recovery room. And of course, there's a cross with Jesus Christ, and there's even a picture of St. Agatha over there. And let me tell you, this was one of the most incredible experiences. The people here, from this room, we went down to the basement through a hall. It felt like going through a cinema hall. Went through a long hall with windows all over it. Entered another space where there was a brand new team of technicians. There were 20, 30-year-olds, and then the older physicians and the surgeons. And there were bees running around. Everyone was working. Everyone had a cap on. Everyone had on their professional gear. And one by one, I got my anesthesia. They were checking my heartbeat. They were checking my blood pressure. They were getting me ready. And then before I knew it, I was on the bed. And I had the anesthesia bottom down. And there was a camera. And I was watching the whole thing. And let me tell you, this is not for the faint of heart, because I heard a hammer. I felt the hammer, although I didn't feel the pain. I saw the scope going through my bones and going through my ligaments, and the team, I heard the team discussing among each other and saying, good job, or no, you gotta move left, right, and it was a team of men and women, and they all worked in harmony. And I heard good, some good vibes. I can't believe I was awake. And at one point I said, something like, how's it going? And I got the thumbs up. So here we go, the start of a whole new journey. I have to stay in this about 45 days. So let's see. But all in all, very pleased, very professional, and very relieved. Day 2 here, and I must say to you that I did not sleep at all. I was in excruciating pain. Now, there was a drip here, and they have been putting some stuff on my arms, like antibiotics and anti-pain, but the pain last night was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my life, and I did not sleep at all. So, let's see what comes today. It's a big one. So I promised him for the next 2 weeks I will not leave the house. And then after 2 weeks, he said I can start walking around without putting any weight. Oh, my roommate has been great. Martina, saluta tutti.
Hi.
She has been so great. What a great roommate. She had her arm operated in. She's 22 years old and comes right outside of Catania. And she's a graphic...
24.
24?
Yes.
Uh-oh. And she's a graphic designer. All right, I want to see some of your stuff later. So Martina's boyfriend Dan came by to visit, and they're playing cards because Martina is very, very bored. She keeps telling me that. And I said, "Are you playing sette più," which is a typical Sicilian game, which I was joking. And she goes, "No, scopa." See, even young Sicilians play the scopa. Good game?
Yes.
Fun?
Yes.
See? Scopa. Right here. An ancient Sicilian card game played by today's youth. Tell you, the people in the nurses, the assistants, all the guys take me up and down to x-ray, and you know, they were kind, they were sweet. I saw the comadre. How do you say that word? The
Commotion.
No, not commotion. Comadre, like the friendship.
The camaraderie.
Camaraderie in the pre-surgery room. Oh my God, these nurses and these, you know, like 30-something, 40-something, then the 60-something surgeons and nurses. I mean, they were like hugging each other, you know, like kidding around, speaking Sicilian, you know, like it gave me a good feeling. Let me tell you, this area, this place too, is top-notch, high quality, high tech. There's nowhere else better that I would have wanted my leg to do, including probably in the United States, although I don't want to exactly say that because I don't know, but I felt safe. It was clean, they were efficient, professional, and they got it done.
So you're saying, what you're doing is you're giving a rousing endorsement for the medical professionals in Catania,
in Morgagni,
at the Morgagni Clinic, number one. Here's a very important question. What about the food that you ate there?
Oh, I actually took video. That's so
How's the
much,
hospital
right?
food?
Listen, it was plain and perfect. Now, you know my special needs, or special wants, because I like vegetables and this, da-da-da-da. And the dietitian was so accommodating. She was so awesome. She understood from the first night that I liked the boiled spinach with the olive oil and the Parmesan cheese. And she, the next 2 days, she brought them to me hot, so I could drink it because I love brodo, which is broth. The grilled chicken was delicious. I mean, there was no salt, pepper, nothing, but it was great. All there was on it was olive oil, and let me tell you, I drank the olive oil. I ate everything. They even had a nice little salad. They had fresh fruit. They had crackers. Oh, and I had boiled eggs. She made me boiled eggs for dinner, which was not on the menu, but she made it for me because I asked for boiled eggs. For breakfast, there's no coffee. There was orzo, which is a barley drink. Like, you know, but they did have tea. Overall, A+ experience. Very clean, very efficient. They cleaned me every day. Anytime I had to go to the bathroom, they came. So, thank God.
Last question for you, okay? How long are you going to be in your little Eszter mobile here, and what's the prognosis for your recovery?
Well, first of all, I don't need the Eszter mobile. I'm in it now because it's only been 2 days since the surgery. They told me I can start using the crutches immediately, but I said, you know what?
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. Leg and my love. The most attention, let it rest. It went through a lot. I'm going to let it rest, and probably by the weekend I'll start my crutches. We'll see how that goes, but they said 5 weeks without weight bearing, and I said to them, I'm going to say 4 weeks, and he said, no, this is physics. Okay, 4.5 weeks. I'm going to watch me. I do already have some exercises that I have to do in the house to strengthen and not lose as much muscle, and of course I've been doing them.
Uno, lentamente, soft.
2, ok.
Ok, 10.
E 10 con questa.
10. Poi, dopo, after, 10.
Okay.
Giù, contrarre.
Okay, so I have to do each one.
1, 2, 3,
Relax. 1, 2, 3, relax. Ok.
Ok. Questi esercizi ogni 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Repeat.
Every day.
Ripetere, sempre.
Quante
Night,
volte?
No, dormire.
Quante volte al giorno?
10.
10 volte. 10, 10.
Niente. Ok.
Basta.
This, sempre.
Always wear it.
Night, after.
Day. Okay.
And so the prognosis is I'll be back better than ever. Mark my word.
Bunsta, I have to be honest with you, right? You are an example of plain guts, all right? You really are. Everybody around you who were on that trip, their jaws were in amazement, dropping in amazement. You're one tough Hungarian lassie. Let me say that to you. All right, Eszter. God bless you, honey.
This is going
Buongiorno.
make a good episode of you, me and Sicily. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
To say the least, I'm so nervous. Here we are going down to get my CAT scan. Letizia, these guys have been so great and calming because I've been nervous. E tu piace?
Sì,
Perché?
è la mia più grande passione.
E passion. Medicini e
No,
persino.
soccorritore. Un
Soc-
soccorritore. Però io sono anche laureata in altro. Ho un'altra laurea io.
Che laurea?
Criminologia.
She's a criminologist. Imagine that. And now she's working on an ambulance. Volevo dire, voi siete bravi.
Grazie.
When I say this crew was amazing, I couldn't have asked for a better group. Thank God I remembered my tea, hibiscus green tea, and a pear. And I brought some sweeteners. And let's see, what else? You want to make sure you bring a battery, antibiotic. So I'm ready.
A casa.
I'm going home.
Mettilo.
Be more excited. And I'm not crying because of tears, but because of happiness. So much relief, you have no idea. All in all, an unbelievable experience. And let me tell you, healthcare here in Sicily is something to be commended. And if you, unfortunately, if anything like this ever happens to you, just know, I think you'll be in good hands. See you at home.
Look at that. She's a star even in a gurney. Howdy. Here we go. Coming in.
I'm so happy to be home.
Yay!
Vai, girati. Ok. Quando dici tu. Vai.
Benvenuto a casa.
Vai, vai.
It was awesome. Morgagni. Sorry.
You know, do you believe in angels? Because I do. Because in Eszter's story, there was a whole series of angels, starting with our group that we traveled with. Most unbelievable people I ever saw in my life. They just ran to her for the remainder of the trip, okay, number one. All the healthcare professionals, ranging from the ambulance drivers, the CAT scan folks, the folks at the clinic, were just unbelievable. But the biggest guardian angel of all, in my view, was Dr. Angelo Di Giunta, my friend and Eszter's friend, who, with his magic hands and his dedicated staff, fixed my woman. And I'm eternally grateful for that. I know she is. And let me just say one other thing, too, okay? This woman is a tough kid. Even though she's not from Lawrence, she's a tough kid, and she'll be back in action. And we're going to see her even in the October trip. So she'll be back. But my hat I'm tipping to you, and I'm tipping to all my angel friends and my doctor friends. God bless you all, and thank God it turned out good. Ciao.